Okay, welcome to Clarity Design. We're just going to have a quick tutorial where I'm going to show you how to do some motion tracking just to stable up some bad footage. So for whatever reason your technician has been out filming for you and has brought back a pile of rubbish and you need to try and sort it out, or maybe there's something in the scene which you want to stay central to the focus of the scene and you've got enough cut around the outside edge to manipulate that. So let's have a quick look at this. As always, I'm just going to show you really quickly kind of the basic operation of it, and then you can go away and explore that for yourself and find out how to really get to grips with it. So I'm just going to bring this down here. This is recorded on a simple camera. Just extend that out to the side a little bit, so I've got a bit of an overthrow there. And I'm going to motion track this now. So if I just play it back very quickly, click on the play button there. It's not quite playing at full speed. You see 19 frames per second. My computer's quite old, but as it plays through, that's really bad footage. Very difficult to follow. Obviously, just walking along, carrying the camera, not carefully recording it. So let's see if we can sort that out a little bit. Now, immediately you want to go up to in animation here. You want to go up to animation. So most people go look in effects or layers. It's not there actually. It's in animation. And here you've got track motion and stabilize motion. And we're going to use a track motion instead of the stabilize motion option. Stabilize motion will work for you and it will do a pretty good job, but you might find some of the outcomes not quite as good as if you track some motion within the scene. And both of them are linked together, as you'll see in a second. So I click on that and it opens up this track motion, and it also puts a track point into our scene. So I'm just going to zoom in on that, pressing Control+. And I'm going to move this track point now. Be careful as you pick this up, because you can pick up all the different bits inside here and move them around. And what I'm going to do is just going to position that. You can see this white object on the floor over here. That's a great point to choose. What you're looking for is a point where you've got some light around dark. So maybe one of the flowers would be a good point for tracking motion, or a highlight on the car. If that doesn't change too much in the scene, that's what you need to do. I'm going to make sure I'm back at the beginning of my time slider, and then I'm going to move along. You see, as I pick that up, it gives a zoomed in view of it. So I'm just going to pick up these pixels there and position it over there. And I'm going to leave that as it is. You can see I've elongated that box slightly. I'm going to leave that as it is and start working through. So over right down this bottom corner, I've got this tracker window which opened up when I went to the tracker option. I want to track motion, and in this case I want to stabilize it. So at the moment it's just analysing the background. I'm just going to cancel that. Over here I'm using the motion source is this one here, the current tracker 1. Okay, so don't click on that because it will go to the stabilizer option, which is the same option that you'd get if you clicked on there. So tracker 1 type, and I'm going to say stabilize here is what I want in there. You can go and explore the others and see what that does for you. But in here, stabilize. Position is what we're looking at. Rotation and scale I'm not too worried about. The camera stays on the same sort of angle, so I'm not going to complicate things here. Just keep it nice and simple. But if you wanted to add those in, it will probably add extra tracker points in for you whilst you do that. So what we need to do is actually start tracking this motion. Now if I click play, it will automatically play through the scene, and it will try and track that point, which to a point it will do without any problem. But if your scene is only short, like this one is a few seconds long, you're much better moving through frame by frame and checking it stays in the right place. Now you can see as I'm moving through frame by frame, it's managing to track the white dot. It's not moved off it yet. So here we go. Every frame it's putting down a new animation point, and it's generating a path which it will translate onto the motion. Now I'm hoping that in a second or two it's going to lose that white point and it's going to drift off, so you can see how to fix it. So just click through a little bit quicker. It did too earlier. Let's just see. There we go, because there's quite a lot of movement going on here. It's really badly filmed. If it gets closer, it might lose the point. There we go. Okay, so it's lost it. So immediately I'm going to pull that back to the white area there, and I'm going to keep clicking through. Oh, cancel that. Didn't mean to do that. Went into the options. So keep clicking through, all the way through, and if it loses it again, then we can move it back. In fact, I'm not going to do it all because I'm going to leave it about there. And obviously if it came off the track again, I could move it through. You can click play, it can go through, and you can edit these points as well. So if you know that one of the points is in the wrong place, you can actually zoom in, pick them up and move them around, but not very easy to do. So I find it easier if I just click through the frames and do that, unless it's a long scene, and then you can play it through. If you see it coming off, you can go in and edit or change those points if you need to. Once you've done that, all you do is click apply. We'll do X and Y dimensions. Okay, and let's see what happens here. We'll just click play there. So moving back, you can now see the keyframes that have been put in. So you click to analyze. So we'll just get rid of this warp stabilizer, and we'll just have a look what happens there. So now you can see that the motion is being taken out by, and there we are. As soon as it finishes, you can see the jolt come back in again. Okay, so let me just collapse this down so you can't see exactly what it's doing down there. And I'll zoom in on the screen here so you get a better idea of what's happening in terms of the stabilisation and how much that's worked. So there it is, stabilising away, much smoother. Done a really good job, and then we're out of it, and you can clearly see the difference in the quality of the footage there. So hopefully, let's just leave that to finish and just play it through one more time. So nice stabilised image, not too bad at all, much improved, and then much worse as we get out of the stabilised image. So hopefully that gives you a good idea as to how to start stabilising the image. So if you did a stabilised motion on top of that as well, so you could run, that's going to initiate, and then it will run that, and then it will automatically try and stabilise anything out afterwards. Once that's done, you should have a fairly nice piece of footage. Well, that is, if the footage in the first place has got anything interesting in it, unlike this one here. So hopefully that's useful to you. I'll let you go and play with it. This has been Clarity Design, and I'll catch up with you again another time soon.